Okay, good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, good morning. So just wait, I am starting. Okay, so let's start. So good morning, everyone. So last class we have discussed, that is we have to start the module 2, and first topics we have to discuss, that is pneumatic controller. Okay. So first class we have to start the different parts of the pneumatic controller. So what is pneumatic controller? What is the basic properties of the pneumatic controller? What is the application area of the pneumatic controller? So I just recall some idea, and then we have to continue our next part also. So a pneumatic controller, it is a mechanical device, and it is designed to measure temperature, pressure, and also it transmit a corrective air signal to the final control element. Okay, so we have to know, so this pneumatic controller, it has a basic property dependent upon the airflow. Okay, so without airflow, so this pneumatic controller part, it is does not working. So this pneumatic controller, it is a mechanical device, and it is designed to measure temperature measurement or pressure measurement or anything else. So these are the basically applications of the pneumatic controller part, and it transmit a corrective air signals to the final control element. Okay, so that means it is also uses in flow measurement. That means Barden tube, bellows, and then temperature measurement device or anything temperature measurement display also. Okay, so this kind of applications area we have to uses in this pneumatic controller part. Okay, so this pneumatic controller part are used in automatic control systems, and it is used for the flow measurement, pressure measurement, level measurement, temperature measurement, and other parameters of industrial processes we have to use this. Okay, so and we have discussed last classes, these are the basically broad area of the pneumatic controller part. So first we have to discuss, that is this electro-pneumatic controller part. It's mainly three important steps. First step, that is a signal input device. Number 2, that is a signal processing, and number 3, signal outputs also. So this signal input device, its generation such as that is a switch and contactor. Okay, so in this signal input device, when we have to use this pneumatic controller in the process control industries, so different types of switch, okay, different types of switch, different types of contactor, or any proximity sensors, okay, we have to use in this input part of the pneumatic controller part. Okay, number 2, that is signal processing. So this is another one important part, that is also processing the device of the pneumatic controller part. So use of this combination of different types of contactors of relay, and it is also uses another one device, that is a PLC, that is a programmable logic controller part. So this different types of contactors of the relay operations or any other programmable device, that is a PLC, that is a programmable logic controller, it is uses in the signal processing units. Then outputs we have to discuss. It is uses, that is the output is obtained after processing the used for the distribution of solenoids. Any questions, anyone? Okay, so if different types of indicators and audible alarms we have to use it in this output. Then we have to discuss what is the 7 basic characteristics of this electronics device. So these are the basic 7 basic electrical device we have to use this in this pneumatic controller systems. So this is manually actuated push button switch, limit switch, pressure switch, solenoids, relay, timers, and temperature switches also. And also we have two other two device, that means sensors, one sensors and one another one is the counters we have to use this in electro-pneumatic controller part. First one, that is a proximity sensors. Number two, that is the electric counters. So these are the basic electrical device we have to use this in this pneumatic controller part. Then we have to discuss one by one in details. So we have to discuss in last classes, that is the push button switch. So just recall them. What is push button? This push button, it is a one type of switch. It is used for the close or open operations, okay, in the electric control circuits. Okay, that means using this push button switch, you have to operate two modes. One is the close operations, another one is the open operation in the electric control systems. So they are primarily used for the starting and stopping of the operations of the machinery parts also. So they also provide manual override when the emergency arises, and also it is also working as a setting of the automatic system, automatic control systems. So these push button switches are actuated by pushing the actuator into the housings, and this causes set of the contacts of open or close. So using this push button switch, you have to control the two operations. One is the close operations, another one is the open operations. So in that case, in the working culture, this push button switch we have to classify into two types. First one, that is a momentary push button, and then number two, that is the maintain contact or detain push buttons also. So this momentary push button, it's returned to their unactuated positions when they are released. That means this push button switch, all of you seen this push button switch, it has different colors. That is a red switch, a red color, green and yellow. So these three types of colors we have to use this in our different controller actions for our process plant industries. So when this momentary push button switch you have to press, it's returned to the unactuated positions when they are released. And also it maintained push button, it has a latching mechanism to hold it in the selected positions also. Okay, so this momentary push button, it is also dependent on the different application oriented we have to use this. So it has another one classifications during the functions also. So we have to classify these three category. First one, that is the we have to discuss, that is normally open, that is NO type switch. Number two, that is a normally closed type, that is the NC type of switch. And number three, that is changeover, that is CO type. These NO, NC and CO type push button switch we have to use this in our different process control industries, different operations also. And these are the basically types of devices with respect to the when we have to use it, that is a push button and relay and timer circuit or counter circuit. So these are the basically numbering positions where we have to discuss in this type of diagrams. So here you can see these are the basically two connections. That is the first one, there is a momentary contact type push button switch or push button stations also. So in that case, two no contact, that is a NC and normally open. Okay, so normally that is a normally closed and normally open. 2 plus 2, that is a connection. Here you can see these are the basically open operations, and in this two connection, that is a closed operations. Okay, so first digit it indicates the functions of the contact, and second digit it is also represents a serial ordering also. And 3 and 4 it represents there is a no contact, and 1 is the serial number. So these are the basically classifications. There is a 1 3 and 1 4. So first digit it indicates the functions of the contact also, and second digit it represents the serial ordering. That means 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the basically ordering number. Okay. And then these are the another two positions. Here you can see this is maintained contact type push button stations also. These are the number 2, that is a maintain contact or detain push button switch. So these are the basically basic difference. Here you can see these are the basically braking positions and these are the basically continuous we have to use it. But in this connections, that is this contact type push button stations or switches, we have to use these two type of connection parallelly. That is two. Here in these pictures we have to use that is two normally open configurations and two normally closed operations also. Okay, so these are the basically diagrammatically pictures of the one is momentary contact type push button switch, another one is the maintain contact type push button switches. Okay. And last class we have to discuss in broadly, these are the basically three types of switches. Okay, sorry, just wait. Okay, first one, that is a normally open, that is a NO type switches. Okay, so this NO type switch, that means normally open. So in that case, here you can see first this is the push button where the user or automatic system which is push the button. So in that case, here you can see this is the normally open. But when this push button you have to push this button, it is press the spring. These are the basically here you can see these are the closing operations. So first, that is the first position, that is a normally open. Then it is also when you have to process, this is also actuated positions. So this is normal positions and this is also actuated positions. And this is the basically symbol of the normally open switches. Okay, these 3, 4, these are the basically symbol of the normally open switch. Again, we have to discuss another one, that is a normally closed. Okay, so here you can see these are the basically slightly difference between these normally open and normally closed switches. Okay, but operating culture, that is a construction, it is same to same. So here you can see these are the basically spring device we have to use as in normally open and normally closed type switches. So now first position, when we have to normal positions switch, it is also connected. Here you can see. Okay, but when you have to push the button, that means you have to press this button. So this press, when you have to press the button, this connection is this connection, it is also different, that is each other, that is a one blank position you have to see here. Okay, so this is called the actuated position in the normally closed type switches. So these are the basically symbol of the normally closed type switches. Okay, again we have to discuss that is a changeover. This is basically another one operations, changeover switches. So here you can see these are the basically connections when this is normally positions, normally it is working, and when you have to push this button also. So here you can see these are the basically contact point, it is also slightly different, and these are the basically blank position, that is a no contact in this device, but when you have to push this button, it is also contact, it is also connected. So these are the basically actuated positions. So these three types of, and it is the symbols of the changeover circuits also. Okay, so these three types of switches very, very important for your future reference also. So it is clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next we can go. So today we have to discuss first limit switches. So what is limit switch? So this is we have to use as different types of switches in our pneumatic control system. So this limit switch, it is actuated due to the positions of a fluid power component. Okay, usually a piston, rod, or hydraulic motor shaft we have to uses in these limit switches. So this piston, rod, or hydraulic motor shaft, or the positions of the load, is termed as limit switch also. Okay, so these actuations of a limit switch, it provides an electrical signal that causes an appropriate system pressures also. So here you can see these are the basically pictures of the one limit switches. That is a cross-sectional view of the limit switches. Okay, so these are the basically one lever. So we have to when you have to press this lever or any weight you have to up in these positions. So this push button, it is pushing this button, then this is also connected. Okay, so this type of basically operations we have to done by these limit switches. So there are two types of limit switch we have to classify depending upon the method of the actuations of the contact types. One is the lever actuated contacts, another one is the spring loaded contacts. So in this contact here you can see these are the basically we have to use this one spring type, and these are the basically one lever contact type or lever actuated contact types. So in this lever type limit switches, the contacts are operated, that is a slowly. And when spring type limit switch, its contacts are rapidly. That means it is also when you have to select the timing, so it is rapidly it is working. That is according to the given timing or timing pulse also. Okay, so these are the basically simplified diagram of the limit switches. So these are the basically we have to uses in our automatic control system where we have to use automatically control the different operations. That means we have to use it in automobile industries or petrochemical industries, something like that. Next, pressure switch. So in this pressure switch, it is also uses in our pneumatic controller part. It is also measured the different types of pressure measurement systems. So this pressure switch, it is a pneumatic electric signal converter, and this pressure switch are used to sense a change in pressure, and it opens or closes an electrical switch when a predetermined pressure is reached also. That means bellow. Okay, this bellow and diaphragm. So in this bellow, in the help of bellow and diaphragm, we have to uses different types of pressure measurement. Okay, that means you have to measure the pressure in the inner tube. That is a flowing flow rate of the any system. That is a flow of the water, flow of the different types of liquid, channel, etc. Also. So this bellow and diaphragm, it is used to sense the change of pressure. So these bellows and diaphragm are used to expand or contract in response to the increase or decrease of the different types of pressure measurement. So here you can see these are the basically cross-sectional view of the pressure switches. Okay, so these are the adjusting screw. You have to adjust the positions of the different operations when you have to use this. And these are the basically contact sets also. Here you can see these are the basically one spring, and this is a lever, one lever we have to use this here also. Okay, and it is also connected the contact set. These are the basically different contact. That is the numbering 1, 2, 4. These are the basically numbering, and these are the diaphragm. Okay, or bellows type. So these are the two operations. Here you can see these are the another one diagram. Okay, so when you have to use this, it is pressure measurement. The position it is also changes. This is the basically normally positions, and when it is also actuated, you have to signal it is sent in the pressure switch. Okay, so these are the basically operations where we have to use two operations. One is the bellow, or another one is the diaphragm. So this pressure switch, it is a pneumatic electric signal converter. It is uses or applied in the pressure measurement system in our process industries. These pressure switches are used to sense any types of changes coming in pressure. So you have to, when you have to measure the flow rate of a tube or flow rate of a systems, so you have to use this pressure switch, different types of pressure switch. So that means we have to use bellows or diaphragm. It is used for the sense the change in pressure, anything is coming in this device also. So when the pressure is applied at the limit, sorry, in the inlet, and when the preset pressure it is reached, the diaphragm expands and pushes the spring loaded plunger to make and break contact. That means here you can see these are the basically first operations when any pressure it is not coming in this diaphragm. Okay, that is the normally operations. And then when you have to any pressure it is coming, that is fluid pressure or any types of liquid pressures, you have to do the same. So this diaphragm here, you can see this diaphragm, it is position, it changes. This diaphragm, it is close, normally close to the lever operations. So here the spring, it is also tight, okay, hardened. So that time no one pressure it is also are coming. So that is the maximum position, that is the maximum load or maximum pressure we have to measure in that time. So these are the basically working functions of the limit switches, sorry, pressure switches also. Okay. So in your exam, there are short types of question it is coming, or just like this type of question is coming, write short notes on limit switch, write short notes on the that is a pressure switch. Okay, or what is the basic operations of the pressure switch or limit switch, anything it else. Okay, it is clear all of you. This is the pressure switch. It is clear all of you?
Yes.
Okay, so everyone write your own name and roll number in the chat box, those who have not written right now. And Krishna Dev, please respond.
Yes, sir.
So you have to take a screenshot, okay? And
Okay,
then
sir.
and then after send.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. So next we have to go, that is a solenoid. What is solenoid? So this is another parts of the pneumatic controller part. So this is a electrically actuated directional control valves. It is from the interface between the two parts of the electro-pneumatic control. Okay, so basically it is important tasks of the electrically actuated DCV included also. So this solenoid, it is a one type of control valve we have to use in our pneumatic controller part. So it is basically important the tasks of any electrically actuated signals, where we have to use different types of signals we have to process. So that type of solenoid we have to use this. So it is also classified into two categories, that is switching supply air on off. Another one is the extension and retraction of the cylinder device. So first of all, I am telling that, so without air pressures, this pneumatic controller valve, it is not working. So when you have to working this pneumatic controller part, so you have to use this air pressure valve control. So air pressure valve, it is also basically important in the process control industries for the operations of the pneumatic controller valve. Okay, so this solenoid, it is uses for the electrically measurement in actuated signal, where we have to control the valve operation to the air control. So this is DCV include. What is a DCV? DCV is the directional control valve. Okay, so this is called directional control valve. It is basically one of the most fundamental parts or important parts of the pneumatic controller part or pneumatic control systems also. So it allow this DCV, it's allow the fluid flow into the different parts from one to many more sources also. So when a big systems, when a one, that means you have to use as different types of fluid pressure, different types of fluid channels, something like that. That is a petrochemical industry or any chemical industries. There are lots of many more chemicals we have to process. Okay, so that means there are different types of channel, that is a different types of water valve pipes are coming. So in this position, when you have to use this DCV, that is the directional control valve for the pneumatic operations, that is a pneumatic control systems. So this DCV, it's allowed the fluid flow into the different paths from one or two or more many sources also. And it is also usually consists of a spool inside a cylinder also. So these are the basically two operation. One is the switching supply of the air on and off also, Another one, number 2, that is the extension and retraction of cylinder drives also. Okay, so these two parts are important for the solenoids, that is the electric DCV valves or solenoid valves also. So this electrically actuated directional control valve are switched with the aid of the solenoids, and there can be divided into two groups. One is the spring return valves, only remain in the actuated positions as long as current flow through the solenoid valve. And number 2, that is the double solenoid valves, retain the last switches positions even when no current flows through the solenoid. So two operations we have to control these electrically actuated direction control valves for the uses of the solenoids. First one, that is a spring return valves, only remain in the actuated positions as long as current flow through the solenoid. Another one is the double solenoid valves we have to use is retain the last switches position even when no current flows through the solenoid. So here you can see these are the basically pictures of the cross-sectional view of the single solenoid valve. Okay. Okay, these are the basically one spring we have to use is this part and this part also. These are the normally operations normally when you have to use this, and when you have to actuated positions, these are the basically diagrams are coming. So this is basically uses this DCB control system or electrically actuated DCB it is system. It is working in the voltage different AC and DC devices also. So this possible voltage you have to apply this solenoid device, something like that. That is a 12 volt DC or 12 volt AC supply you have to use this, and it is also working 50 and 60 hertz also. So our country frequency range is also 50 hertz, all of you know, and also 60 is the another country. So America, Britain, etc. So this country it is used, that is the frequency of the that is a 60 hertz. So this solenoid you have to uses different operation, different frequencies ranges also. Then it is also working 24 volt, 110 and 120 volt also, and it is also working in the 220 and 230 volt, 50 and 60 hertz also. So these are the basically advantage of these types of valves. So this solenoid valve, it is uses that is 12 volt to 230 volt ranges of devices. Okay, so this is basically advantageous over the another valve we have to use this in our different process control system. So a double valve has no clear initial positions as it does not have the return springs also. So number 1, this is 3x2 way single solenoid valve, that is a spring returns also. So these are the basically two operations of also. So that's why it is named that is a 3x2. 1, 2, 3. These are the basically names. So these are the 3x2 single solenoid valves also. So this cross-sectional view of the 3x2 way single solenoid valve in the normal and actuated positions also. First one, that is the normal operations. Another one is the actuated positions of the this valve. So in the normal position, that is a port 1 it is blocked and port 2 is connected to the port 3 via back slot. Okay, so when this is basically port 1 it is blocked, but in that case this port 2 it is connected to the port 3. These are the basically port 3, it is connected in the back slot, that is details show in the circles also. These are the basically connections also. Okay, when the rated voltage is applied to the coil or armature, it is pulled towards the center of the coil, and in the process of armature is lifted away from the valve seat also. Another one, when it is also compressed air, now it is flow in these systems. Okay, that means in that case you have to use the air pressures through the air valve also. So this compressed air valve, now it is also flows from part 1, there is a port 1 to port 2, and port 3 it is at that time it is also blocked. So when the voltage to the coil it is removed, the valve return to the normal positions. So these are the basically simple operations of the 3x2 single solenoid valve also. Another one figure, it is also coming, that is a 2x2 solenoid operated valve also. Okay, so these are the basically electrically connection device. In these connections here also, here and here also, 3 ports are coming, 1, 2 and 3. These are the actuated positions, and another one is the normal positions. So there are different types of solenoid valve we have to use this. So in details, it is not coming in your topics. Just overview idea you have to given, that is what is a solenoid valve. Okay. So these are the another one, that is 5x2 way single solenoid valve. This is a spring return types also. Another one 5x2 single double solenoid valve we have to use this. Okay. So these are the basically calculations, classifications of the solenoid valve. So in this table you have to see, so these are the basic symbols, and according to the symbols we have to naming these details. First one, that is the, here you can see, that is the 3x2 single solenoid valve in the spring return type. Okay, these are the basically symbol of the 3x2 single solenoid valve using that is spring return type also. Okay, then number 2, that is 3x2 pilot operated single solenoid valve also. It is also spring return types also. So please everyone draw these symbols or any picturization of this slide also. So because this symbol, it is also very important for your practical purpose. That means when you have to working in a industry, okay, when you have to go in any industries operations, circuit operation or valve operations, when you have to see. So this type of symbols, okay, this type of symbol, it is uses different instruments behavior also. So these are the first one, that is a 3x2 single solenoid valve which is uses spring return type. Another one, there is a 3x2 pilot operated single solenoid valve spring return type. These are the basically 5x2. Okay, these are the basically 5x2 single solenoid valve spring return type. This is the 5x2 double solenoid valve. Okay, here you can see these two types. Here you can see these are the basically two double. There is a double solenoid valve, but in that case, these are the basically single solenoid valve, and this part is closed. This is also single. This part is closed. This is also single. That is also single also. So another one, that is a 5x2 pilot operated double solenoid valve. This is also two solenoid valve then each side, and this is the pilot operated double solenoid valve. Okay, so just consider, that is a what is the solenoid valve, what is the application area of the solenoid valve, and what is the basic classifications of the solenoid valve, and what is the working culture. Okay, so these are the different questions from the solenoid valves also. Okay, next part, it is very important, relay operations. That is a relay. All of you know, in your previous different types of subject, you have to know the different electrical machines and transformer operations. All of you know, and so this relay you have to use as different motor connections or different operations of machine control device. So this relay, it is a very important. A relay, it is an electromagnetically actuated switches, and it is a simple electrical device. It is used for the signal processing. And relay are the designed to withstand heavy power surge and harsh environment conditions. So that means when you have to use any relay operations in the any control pneumatic control valve, it is also uses different weather environment conditions. That means it is working in the heavy temperatures areas also, or coldest area also, or humidity area also, something like that. And also it is uses for the heavy power surge systems also. So when a voltage is applied to the solenoid coil, or that is a solenoid valve, we have to discuss in the previous one. So when any voltage we have to apply in the solenoid coil, an electromagnet field is result. So this cause this armature to the attracted to the coil core also. This armature actuates the relay contact with the either closing or opening them, depending on the design also. And a return spring returns the armature to its initial positions when the current to the coil is interrupted. So one cross-sectional view you have to see, these are the basically relay. Okay, so here you can see these are the different types of connections we have to apply. So again, this there is a normally open, another one is the normally closed, we have to attach here. Now in that case, when this is not connected each and every one, so this is called the normally open, and when this is also connected, it is working the logic of the normally closed type also. Okay, so these are the basically different parts. Okay, these are the basically core of the coil. Okay, that is called the coal core. Okay, this is the connection between A1 and A2 also here. One spring it is also uses here also. This is return type of spring, and this it is also called that is a relay coil, which is connected one armature. These are the basically armature. Okay, sorry. This is armature, which is connected to the device as insulation part. Another one is the contact terminals. These are the basically contact terminal. Here you can see that is 1, 2, 4. These are the connection to the this type of connection. Here A1 and A2, which is from the core of the coil system, and another connection it is done by these contact terminals 1, 2, 4. Okay, so this is the cross-sectional view of the relay operations. And with respect to the relay, it is a one type of protective device of the any pneumatic controller system, and where you have to use the relay device. So when any huge type of voltage it is coming, that means that is a one voltage level, it is also limited for the users for the any electrical device or electronics device. So this relay, it is also helping, or it is also protect the device from the high voltage. Anything is high voltage, it is coming at uncertainty. Okay, so this is relay operations. A large number of control contacts can be incorporated in the relay in contrast of the case of the push button stations. Again, this push button is coming in these relay operations. So this relay are usually designed as K1, K2, and K3. These are the different types of naming of the according to their classifications also. And this relay also process the interlocking capability. That is an important safety feature in control circuit. I am telling that. So this relay, it is a very important any electrical control circuits also, or electronic circuits also. This interlocking, it avoids simultaneous switches of certain coils also. Okay, so this relay, without relay, any circuits we have to know uses for the protecting or safety devices also. Okay, so this is clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So I have another more classes. So everyone please be join after 5 minutes. Okay, we have to continue our next part also. And Krishnadev, please take a screenshot.
Yes, sir. Taken, sir.
Okay. So next class we have to discuss another part, that is a time delay relay. These are the basically another one timer circuits also. Okay. So timer, it is also related in this pneumatic controller valve when you have to setting a time or clock pulse